for joining us today. Today we are talking with Mark, who was once a private weather forecaster and used to hate greens. He doesn't have a party trick, but he has unwillingly climbed some tall towers. He loves exotic ice cream flavors and wishes he was from Iceland. So today he's going to share about Monaco. So welcome, Mark.
Yes, thank you very much. It's a pleasure being with you.
Wonderful. Welcome, Mark. I'm going to start our 7-minute timer and get us started. So can you just start by telling us what makes Monaco special for you?
Monaco is special because it's like being in the world of millionaires when you know it's impossible to ever reach that level.
Okay.
Like you are, with fast cars all over and all over the place, and rich people and majestic yachts, and all. But then you like little you can still go right next to these cars and next to these yachts and like pretend you're a millionaire for one day.
That sounds amazing.
That sounds incredible. So, do you have some favorite places that you like to visit in Monaco? Are there sites or things to see specifically?
Well, Monaco is tiny. It's extremely small, so you can go anywhere on foot. And basically, well, every little part of it is worth seeing. From the castle at the very top all the way down to the Port Hercule, and the casino, of course. In my case, only from the outside. I didn't even dare go inside. There was no point in any case. I didn't have the money to spend
Yeah.
on anything. And even the old town. The old town is not so busy. I mean, when I went, it was pre-COVID. There were tourists all over the place. But the old town is not that frequented. It's not that crowded. So you get a good chance to see the lovely houses, the lovely magnificent palaces in pastel pinks and pastel oranges, and the gardens are also lovely and beautiful. It's one whole package. It's a lovely country.
Yeah. So how long were you there,
Well,
Mark?
just for half a day.
Half a day.
Only half a day. Well, it was enough. It's
It
enough to
was
see it. You don't need more than half a day. Especially
okay.
as I walk fast. I walk fast. I normally run. I run like 10 or 11 kilometers almost every day. So for
Oh,
me, walking, I mean, my pace is normally fast. So I walk fast and I see lots of things. Uh, and one half a day was enough. Plus. This is very important. I
Okay.
went there by car,
Okay.
and car parks cost around 350 or 4 euros 50 per hour. And
oh,
so
okay.
and so in my mind, I was also, the parking, the ticket. I have the parking ticket. I have to pay for the parking afterwards. So I have to go fast, hurry up, hurry. And
Yeah.
that was in my mind.
So you mentioned that this for the wealthy. This is a city of there. Did you meet any
Indeed.
people along the way? Can you tell us a little story about an encounter or any of the locals that
I
you spoke with?
I don't know actually. I mean, I did encounter like a photo session outside in one big large open car. I have a photo of that on my blog, on my travel blog. In fact. But I didn't recognize people. I don't know if they're famous or not. They might be. I don't know. I mean, there were
Right.
many photographers and other people taking photos of them, not just the
Ah,
official photographers, but everybody else was taking photos of them. So
They must
could
be.
be.
yeah, they
That's
probably
how you
were
know.
famous.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, did you have, with such a quick, short adventure, did you get a chance to sample any of the foods? Or we always like to ask about
Yes,
food.
I did. In fact, I knew that it was going to be expensive. It is a very expensive place. So I took like a snack or a couple of snacks with me and a bottle of water. But I was still hungry eventually. After walking, around the place, you get hungry. And so I stopped for a quiche Lorraine. It's like a little pie and a cappuccino. Each one was like 5 euros, each like 10 euros for a cup of coffee and a quiche Lorraine, very expensive. So, but I was hungry, so yeah. But at least souvenirs, and I was surprised by this. Souvenirs are basically on a par as like in other European countries. They're not like more expensive on the
Hmm,
same level. So souvenirs, I'm saying. So
Okay.
yeah, that's fine.
interesting.
So I
That is
bought quite a few
interesting.
souvenirs because of that, in fact, because prices were okay.
Yeah. So you said it's pretty expensive, and you talked about the parking and stuff. Was there something that surprised you about Monaco that you didn't expect to see that when you were there?
I knew that it was popular, but I mean, uh, there were so many people, especially overlooking the port. You know, just right by the castle, by the palace of the prince. It's a principality, and huge amount of people. You know, you can hardly get yourself a photo. You know, there were so many people. The only benefit there was I had so many people to ask like me a photo, take a photo of me, but otherwise, too many people
Hmm.
Right.
in that particular part.
Okay.
But
That makes
Yeah.
otherwise,
sense.
no, nothing really surprised me as such. You know.
Nothing.
Oh
Okay.
yes, I now yeah okay. One thing really surprised me was I went by car. I hired a car because I was
Oh.
staying in France, and I went there by car. And what surprised me was to get to Monaco, you go through I don't know how many tunnels, going round and round and round by car through different tunnels, and one crossing the other tunnels until eventually you reach Monaco. But the amount of tunnels that there were was incredible. That really surprised me. Yeah.
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 Oh,
So would you go back?
Yes, definitely. But I would go back anywhere, even to Monaco. I loved it there. But my plan, at least pre-COVID, was to visit all European countries.
okay.
And if it hadn't been for COVID, I would have managed to do this by the end of this year.
Hmm.
Okay.
Of course, all this is now, um,
On
you
hold.
know,
Yeah.
on
Yeah.
hold.
So
But
do you have,
that was my plan, to visit all European countries, and I've done most of them. And when
yeah.
I mean European, sorry, I also mean like Armenia and Azerbaijan and Belarus and Moldova. I mean even all these strange countries,
Right.
yeah,
Right.
that's part of Europe for me,
It
Of
and not
is.
just
course.
for
Of
me. I mean,
course.
normally Europe is like west of the Ural Mountains. That's Europe.
But Eastern Europe is beautiful, and
Yes,
southeastern part of Europe you're mentioning, which is great. So what would you have
and
any
cheap,
yeah, cheap.
cheap.
Do you have
That's
any
important.
suggestions for somebody who wants to visit Monaco? Do you have a suggestion for anybody who's thinking about going?
It's very easy to get to. Although I didn't go by bus, I was reading that it's very easy to go by bus, like from Nice, for example, from Marseille. In fact, I flew to Marseille, but since my plan was to also go around the southern part of France and not just Monaco, I hired a car because it
Okay.
made life easier. And
Yeah.
since I wanted to go north into the mountains, the lower
Mm.
mountains, the lower Alps, so to say, yeah. But even by car, it's. I mean, if you don't intend to spend a long time, and in my opinion, half a day is enough.
Uh-huh.
And even if you go by car, you take your own car, it's still fine. Wherever you park, it's going to be expensive in any case, so just park somewhere legally.
Legally.
Yes.
And if
Of
you're
course.
gonna, one piece of advice is that if you do go by car, park in a public car park because private car parks are even more expensive.
Okay. That's a good tip. Great. Yeah. So that was our 7 minutes. Our timer went off, but now you've given us just enough to want
I
to
know.
discover
Yeah.
and explore more about Monaco. So thank you very much, Mark, for joining us. Um, April and I have a new question and answer series where we are answering your questions, and that link is below. And if you're interested in hearing more from Mark about Monaco, we'll have some links on how you can discover more about that place there and travel with us through real stories from real people. Thanks, everybody.
Thank you very much.